The ultra-wealthy didn't become billionaires by luck. They use a 2,000-year-old philosophy that 99% of people completely ignore. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful emperor of Rome, left behind 10 secret principles that today's magnates quietly apply to bulletproof their minds against failure. While you struggle with anxiety and fear of the future, they master ancient Stoic techniques that transform pressure into power and chaos into clarity. These same secrets that built empires in ancient Rome are creating billion-dollar fortunes today, and you're about to discover exactly how to apply them in your life. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment where in the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. What if 3 quiet minutes each morning could clear your head and point you to the next right move? Start by sorting reality before the day starts pulling on you. Take a blank page, draw a line down the middle. On the left, write what you can act on today. Keep each item small and concrete. Write verbs. Write the first clear step. If you need to send a proposal, write "Send the proposal to Mariana." If you need to move a project, write "Call Joanna to confirm delivery." If you need to review something, write "Read page 12 of the contract and mark issues." These are actions you can start and finish today. On the right, write what is outside your control. Write the facts, not your hopes. The client's mood sits on the right. The weather sits on the right. An algorithm change sits on the right. A market swing sits on the right. The exact time someone replies sits on the right. Do not argue with the lists. Just write what is true. Give yourself 3 minutes. That is all you need. The short time box stops you from overthinking. It forces clarity. When the timer ends, stop writing. Look at the left side. Circle the top 3 items that will move your work or your life the most today. Do not pick 10. Pick 3. Now open your calendar. Give each of these 3 items a block with a clear start and a clear end. Protect those blocks. If one task will take 30 minutes, you might block 1 hour. Leave space before and after so you can switch without rush. Put the first block early when your mind is fresh. Put the second block later with a short break before it. Put the third block where you can still finish it if the day gets messy. Write the task inside the block in plain words so you know exactly what to do when the time arrives. As the day begins to move, new inputs will arrive, messages will ping, people will ask for help, ideas will pop up. When that happens, look back at your page. Ask a simple question. Does this new thing fit the top 3 you circled? If it does, adjust a block if needed. If it does not, capture the new thing below the left list with a small note and the word "tomorrow", then return to the work in front of you. This small pause is your guardrail. It keeps your attention pointed where you chose. It also stops you from saying yes to everything and then dropping the important things later. During the day, keep the right side out of your hands. You can care about those items. You can plan around them. You do not need to spend time trying to move them. When your mind drifts to a right-side worry, notice it. Say "Not in my control today," and return to the step inside your current block. If the thought keeps pulling at you, write 1 sentence about it in a later slot on your calendar, as in, think about plan B for the venue at 4 in the afternoon. When that time arrives, you can check if there is a left-side action you can take. Most of the time, there is nothing to do yet, and parking it in a time box frees your mind to work now. This simple split has deep roots. Old Stoic writers taught it as a way to live with pressure and keep moving. They knew that mixing what you can do with what you cannot do floods the mind and freezes your hands. By writing the 2 lists, you teach your brain the split again each morning. You show yourself what you can touch. You accept what you cannot. This protects your attention when the day gets loud. It also makes choices faster because your options are now on one side, not mixed with noise. Keep each left side item small. If you write "Launch the new site," that is not a today task. Shrink it. You can write "Approve the homepage copy" or send the image list to Carla. A good test is this. Could you show someone the finished result by tonight? If yes, it is the right size. If no, break it down again. Clear actions finish. Vague wishes sit on pages for weeks. Choose your top 3 with care. You will feel a pull to pick the easy ones. You will also feel a pull to pick too many. Resist both. The point is to move the needle on what matters, not to stack up tiny wins or drown in a list you cannot finish. If your role has many urgent tasks, ask which ones, if finished, would prevent bigger problems later. If your role has many creative tasks, ask which one, if moved forward today, would make other steps easier. Trust your answer and block the time. Place the page where you will see it. If you use paper, keep it on your desk in view. If you use a notes app, keep the note pinned or open. If you have a whiteboard, draw the line and write the 2 lists where you work. The tool does not matter. The act matters. You are building a small ritual that shapes the whole day. When a block starts, begin. Do not wait to feel ready. Read the line you wrote. Do the first 2 minutes. Send the first sentence. Dial the number. Open the file. Small motion cuts drag. If someone interrupts you and the matter is not urgent, say you will get back to them after your block ends. If you work in a place where people expect quick replies, set a simple message in the morning that says you will respond in batches at clear times. Then keep your word. Your steady pattern will train others on how to reach you, and it will protect your blocks. Expect days that go off track. A meeting will run long, a child will get sick, a client will change a plan. When this happens, stop for a minute. State what happened in plain words, without blame. Look at your page. Cross out what cannot happen now. Move one blocked item to tomorrow's left side. Keep one small action you can do today. Do it. This keeps you from losing the whole day to one blow. It is a way to accept what is true and still move the work forward. Near the end of the day, return to your page. Put a small mark next to what you finished. Look at the open items on the left. For each one, decide. Move it to tomorrow's left list or drop it. If you drop it, draw one line through it and let it go. If it keeps coming back day after day, you either need to cut it or break it into a smaller step that you can do in one sitting. This nightly look takes a few minutes. It closes the loop. It also gives you a clear start for the next morning. Over time, these pages become a record of focus. You will see patterns. You may notice certain times of day when you always protect your blocks. You may notice certain kinds of items that you always skip. Use that data to adjust your plan. If you always miss creative work in the late afternoon, move it to the morning. If you always avoid calls, schedule them back-to-back on one day so the rest of the week stays open. You are not grading yourself. You are learning about your own rhythm and your own traps. Some people worry that 2 lists are too simple for complex work. The point is not to cover every detail. The point is to choose what you will actually do today and to let go of what you cannot control today. Complex work still happens one clear action at a time. If you need more detail, open a project note or a board for that project, but keep the morning list short and sharp. The left side still holds today's actions. The right side still holds what you will not try to move. Watch for common pitfalls. One is turning the left list into a wish list. If you write 10 items and circle 3, then try to sneak the other 7 into the day. You lose the benefit. Keep them for tomorrow. Another pitfall is writing the right list and then spending time on it, reading news or checking for updates that do not matter. When you catch yourself doing this, close the source, look at your page, and return to the task that has a block on your calendar. A third pitfall is making each left item too big. If you keep rolling the same item forward, make it smaller. If you share work with a team, you can show your top 3 to a colleague at the start of the day. Do this in a short message. It keeps everyone aligned and reduces random pings. You can also ask a teammate to share their top 3. Then, if you need something from them, you can see where it fits. You are not adding meetings. You are bringing clarity to what already exists. You can bring this practice into your home life as well. On the left, you might write schedule dentist checkup, plan dinner for Friday with a short list of ingredients, or clean the desk drawer. On the right, you might write neighbor's noise, shipping delays, or school policy change. The same split applies. The same calm comes from acting on what you can do and releasing what you cannot. If you travel or move between places, keep the habit light. Use a small card in your pocket. Use the Notes app on your phone with a simple template. Keep a pencil in your bag. The power is in the 3 minutes and the 2 lists, not in the station where you write them. If you miss a morning, do not judge yourself. Restart the next morning. Treat this as training, not a test. You are shaping a way of seeing and acting, and that takes repetition. You may find that emotions spike when you write the right side. A big worry can fill your view. When that happens, write the label of the feeling on a spare line. Breathe slowly for a short moment. Then ask if there is a left side action that supports your main aim today. If there is, write it and block time for it. If there is not, leave the worry on the right and return to your day. You are not suppressing feelings. You are giving them a name and choosing action where you have power. If you want a simple rhythm to make this stick, tie the morning list to something you already do. Make the lists right after you make coffee or tea. Make them right after you brush your teeth. Keep the page and a pen in the spot where you do that other thing. This anchors the habit to a reliable cue. In the evening, place the page for the next morning on your desk and put the pen on top of it. Small physical cues reduce friction when you are tired. As the days stack up, you will start to trust your own word. You will say you will do 3 things, and you will do them. That builds a quiet confidence that does not need big speeches. It also earns trust from others because they see you choose, schedule, deliver, and review. When they bring you a new request, you can show your page and say where it could fit. This keeps relationships clear and reduces hidden resentments that grow when people make silent promises they cannot keep. This practice also guards your attention. Each left side block is a promise to yourself. Each right side item is a reminder to stop trying to move what you cannot. You spend less time doom scrolling. You spend less time refreshing your inbox. You spend more time on the small actions that move the work. After a while, you will notice a lighter mental load. You will not carry as many open loops in your head. They will live on paper, and you will process them at set times. If you want to review progress at the end of the week, lay out your pages and scan them. Look for one pattern to adjust next week. Do not try to fix everything at once. You might extend your morning block by 15 minutes to finish a recurring task. You might move calls to one afternoon. You might add a short gap between blocks if you always overrun. Small changes add up when you make them on purpose. You do not need to wait for a perfect day to start. Pick tomorrow morning. Give yourself 3 minutes. Draw the line, fill the left, fill the right, circle 3, block your calendar. When the first block arrives, start. When the day ends, review and move what remains. Repeat the next day. You are learning to decide what gets your time and what does not. That small act sets a tone for the rest of your system. As you practice, you will notice certain choices feel bigger than others. They carry more risk. They shape more of your week. When one of those choices appears on your left list, it helps to capture the key facts and your reasons in a simple place so you can see your thinking. The morning split gives you the time and space to do that. And your next step is to make those choices visible in a clear record you can review. Do you want a calm way to slow down a big choice without losing momentum? Your morning split gives you 3 blocks that matter. When one of those blocks holds a choice that could shape your work, make that choice visible. Open a simple notebook or a plain text file. Start a decision log. This is a place where you write a short record each time you face a major call. You write the date in words, the situation, the options you considered, the choice you picked, the reasons, the result you expect, the risks you see, and the date you will check back. Keep each part short. Use plain words. The aim is not style. The aim is a clear record you can act on today and learn from tomorrow. Set a simple format you can repeat. Begin each entry with the date written out. State the context in 1 or 2 lines, so a future you can remember what was happening. List the options in short words, not long pitches. State the pick in 1 line. Write the reasons in a few lines that point to facts you can check. State the expected outcome and include a time window. Name the main risks in brief terms. Finish with a review date, written out, that you will add to your calendar. This is enough to capture the shape of your thinking when it matters, without turning it into a report. Here is how a clean entry reads on the page. March 1st, 2025. Role: sales team needs a lead. Options considered: Alex, Jamie, open search. Choice: Alex. Reasons: knows our industry, strong pipeline skills, adds to culture. Expected outcome: revenue up by 20% within 6 months. Main risks: customer churn, training time, manager fit. Review on October 30th, 2025. That is it. No jargon, no long story. Just the facts you used, the bet you made, and the moment you will check if the bet paid off. This small act helps in several ways at once. It slows you down just enough to notice your own claims before you move. It shows what you knew at the time. It protects you from rewriting history later. It sets a date to learn from the outcome. It also gives your team a window into your thinking if you choose to share the entry. People can disagree with a choice, but it is easier to work together when the reasons and the next checkpoint are clear in writing. Keep entries short so the habit sticks. Aim for a few tight lines under each part. Avoid corporate phrases that blur meaning. Write in words you would use in a normal voice call. If you catch yourself writing to impress, stop and start again. You are not writing for a board. You are writing for your own clarity and for those who must act with you. If an entry grows long, you are likely mixing the decision with a project plan. Split them. Keep the decision record clean. Store extra details in a separate note. Decide when to reach for the log. A good rule is to write an entry when a choice affects money, people, time, or reputation in a real way. If a choice will cost more than a day of work, touch more than a few people, or lock you into a path for months, log it. If a choice is small and reversible, you can skip the log and move. When in doubt, write the short record anyway. The act will take only a few minutes, and the value often shows later when you look back. Connect the log to your calendar. Each time you set a review date in an entry, add it as an event. When the date arrives, open the entry, check the outcome against what you wrote, and note what you learned. If the result is on track, write on track, and set the next review. If the result is off, write what you missed, what changed in the world, and what you will do now. If the item is no longer relevant, write that and close it. This simple loop turns decisions into lessons instead of guesses that fade. Never erase past entries. When you change course, add a dated note under the original record. This shows your path and protects your learning. Here is how an update looks. October 30th, 2025. Status: revenue up 12% below target. Training took longer than planned. 2 key accounts paused. Action: adjust forecast. Add 1 week of onboarding for new reps. Schedule follow-up review on January 15th, 2026. By keeping both the original claim and the update, you can see the gap between plan and reality and adjust your future plans. Be specific with expected outcomes. Vague wishes cannot be checked. Clear outcomes can. You can write, expect 10 new qualified leads per week by month 3. You can write, expect support response time under 2 hours within 8 weeks. You can write, Expect cash runway extended by 4 months by March. When you use clear outcomes, you improve your aim the next time you plan. You also reduce drift, because the review date will force a yes or no on progress, not a foggy feeling. Take the risks section seriously. Risk means something that could block the result you expect. Name a few that matter most, in simple words: supplier delay, compliance review, hiring lag, price change. You are not trying to scare yourself. You are building a short list of things to watch. If you have triggers ready from your planning work, link them here. A trigger is a clear signal that says, do this now. If you already decided that a certain number will cause a hiring freeze, add that note under risks so you are not debating under pressure. You can add a line for the typical result for cases like yours in the real world. This is often called the base rate. It means the usual outcome for similar efforts. You can find it in public reports or industry data. If a new leader fails often in the first year in your sector, note that. If a new store takes a certain number of months to break even in your area, note that. You do not need to do deep math to benefit. A single line with the usual odds will remind you to shape your plan with care. Make the log easy to reach. Keep the notebook on your desk. Pin the file to your dock. Put a shortcut on your home screen. The best tool is the one you will use when the choice appears. Some people keep a single file for the year with a short index at the top. Others keep one note per decision and a simple list of titles they can search. Keep your setup light. You should be able to open the log and write a record in a few minutes without touching other tools. Use the log to help your team, not to control them. When a decision affects others, share the entry. Ask if any facts are missing. Invite people to point out risks you did not see. Ask one person to check the outcome with you on the review date. When people see clear reasoning and a true invitation to test it, they engage more. If you lead a team, a short decision record also reduces the need for long meetings because your plan and your checkback time are written down. Be careful with sensitive details. A decision log is not a place to vent or to judge people. State facts and your reasons. Avoid labels that can harm trust. If a topic is private, store it where access is limited. If you are not sure whether to name a person, write the role instead. Your goal is to make thinking visible and useful, not to create files that can be misread. Let the log support your morning split. When you sit down to make the two lists, glance at your decision log and your calendar. If a review date is today, place the review on the left side and give it time. If an entry is due next week and needs prep, add the prep task to the left side. If a past review revealed a pattern, shape today's top 3 with that in mind. This keeps the system connected. The morning list guides your blocks. The decision log guides your thinking inside those blocks. Use it beyond work. If you face a big personal choice, write a short entry. Moving to a new city, buying a car, changing schools for a child. Write the date, the options, the choice, the reasons, the expected outcome, the risks, and a review date. You will see what you truly value when you must pick one option and write why. You will also see your own patterns over time, such as rushing when you feel pressure or delaying when you feel doubt. Watch what you learn at each review. If results are often worse than you expect, adjust your plans. If results are often better, check whether you set the bar too low. If a certain kind of reason rarely holds up, stop using it. If a certain risk appears again and again, plan around it earlier. This is calibration. You are tuning your sense of cause and effect so that your next judgment lines up better with how the world works. The process is simple. It just needs honesty and repetition. Here is another example to make the shape clear. June 12, 2025. Topic: launch a small pilot for a new service in one city. Options: pilot now, wait for more research, cancel. Choice: pilot now. Reasons: 6 warm leads, low setup cost, strong partner interest. Expected outcome: 5 paying clients within 3 months. Risks: Partner withdraws, legal review slows, ad copy weak. Review on September 12, 2025. This entry takes a few minutes to write. It is clear enough to guide action. It is clear enough to test later. Do not worry about perfect words. Worry about clarity. A messy, short entry that you can read in a month is better than a polished page that was slow to write and hard to use. Over time, your entries will get cleaner. You will find a rhythm that fits your role. You may add a short field you need, such as cost or owner, or link to a file. Keep additions small. If the log gets heavy, you will stop using it. The power comes from many small decisions made visible, not from paperwork. If you lead others, consider a shared practice. Ask your direct reports to keep decision logs for their major calls. Do not make it a trap. Make it a support. Offer your own entries as examples. When you meet one-to-one, review one recent entry together. Focus on missing facts and next steps, not blame. Over time, this builds a culture where people show their thinking, set check-back dates, and adjust with facts. It makes work faster because many debates move from opinion to clear entries that anyone can review. You might push back and say that luck still moves outcomes. That is true. Luck will always touch results. The log does not remove luck, it reduces noise. It helps you learn what was in your control and what was not. It helps you see when fast action paid and when patience paid. It helps you build a record of your own judgment so you can improve it. The process is humble. It asks for plain words and regular checks. It does not promise certainty. It promises learning. As you write entries, notice what happens inside you. Big choices often bring strong feelings. Pride can push you to overstate. Fear can push you to freeze. Anger can push you to pick a fight in words. When you feel a sharp emotion as you write, pause for a short moment and name it on the page. Write one word. Then pick one next step that supports the main goal of the day. If you keep a short personal code of values near you, read it and let it shape the choice you are about to write. This keeps the log honest and keeps you steady when pressure rises. Do strong feelings ever make your plan fall apart? Big choices bring strong feelings. Small choices can bring them too. Your morning split gives you clear blocks. Your decision log makes the choice visible. Then a wave of anger, fear, shame, pride, or envy can arrive and pull you off course. You do not need to fight the feeling. You need a way to notice it and choose your next step with a steady hand. This is a skill you can train. It starts with a short pause, a few plain words, and one action that fits your main goal for the day. When a sharp feeling hits, write one label on paper. Use simple words: anger, fear, shame, pride, envy. If none of these fit, write worry, sadness, or relief. If you feel more than one, write the strongest one. Then notice where it shows up in your body. You might feel heat in your face, tightness in your jaw, pressure in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or a buzz in your hands. There is no right answer. You are only noting what is true. Now sit still for 2 minutes. Breathe slowly. Inhale through your nose. Let your belly rise. Exhale through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. If it helps, count the breath in your head. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 2, breathe out for a count of 6. Do this a few times. After 2 minutes, check 3 basics that often twist feelings. Ask if you are hungry. Ask if you are short on sleep. Ask if you have been alone too long today. Hunger can make anger flare. Lack of sleep can make fear seem larger. Long stretches without other people can turn normal stress into dread. If one of these basics is off, address it now in a simple way. Eat a small snack with protein. Drink water. Step outside for fresh air. Send a short message to someone you trust. Take a brief walk. If you need real sleep, plan an earlier end to your day and protect it. Now, return to your plan. Look at your morning page. Look at your top 3. Choose one next step that supports your main goal for the day. keep it small and concrete. If the feeling is about a hard email, write one honest sentence and send it. If the feeling is about a choice in your decision log, write the missing fact you need and ask for it. If the feeling is about a person, schedule a short call at a set time and keep the tone plain. The aim is to move in the direction you chose when you were clear. You may worry that this pause will slow you down. It does not. 2 minutes of calm breathing and one small action will save you from hours of drift. It also protects the people around you from sharp words or sudden moves that do not help. You are not ignoring your emotion. You are giving it room, and then you are acting in line with what matters most. This practice becomes stronger when you pair it with a short personal code. A code is a simple set of values you choose in clear words. Keep it about 100 words long. Pick 3 values that are real to you. Define how you will act when those values are tested. Use plain sentences that start with verbs. Keep the lines short so you can read them fast when pressure rises. The code is not for show. It is for use when the day turns hard. Here is how a code can look and feel in daily life. You sit down in the morning. Before you draw your 2 lists, you read your code out loud. Honesty means share facts fast, even when costly. Discipline means follow the plan when tired. Service means return messages within 24 hours. You breathe. You draw your line. You write the left side and the right side. You circle your top 3. You block your time. You open your decision log to write an entry for a big choice. As you write, you feel a wave of fear in your chest. You label it. Fear. You breathe for 2 minutes. You realize you slept badly last night. You decide to keep caffeine light. You look at your code again. The sentence on honesty points to a call you have been delaying. You schedule it for the next block and write a short script of facts only. You act. The feeling loses some of its hold because you turned your values into a step. Writing your own code is simple. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Take a plain page. Think about the last year. Recall moments when you were proud of how you acted. Recall moments when you were not. Note the behaviors that fit who you want to be. From those notes, pick 3 values that carry weight for you. Values are words like honesty, discipline, patience, courage, service, fairness, learning, respect. For each value, write 2 or 3 behaviors in clear words. Make them observable. People should be able to see you do them. Cut filler. Trim to about 100 words. Read it out loud. Adjust any line that feels vague. Keep your code visible. Put it on your desk. Tape it near your screen. Save it as the first note in your phone. Take a photo and set it as your lock screen if that helps. Read it at the start of the day. Read it when you feel rushed. Read it before a hard talk. Let it guide the trade-offs that fill a normal day. A trade-off is a moment where you must pick one thing and drop another. Your code gives you a way to pick fast without regret. If a request breaks your code, say no. If a promise fits your code, keep it even when it costs effort. Use simple words when you speak your code. If someone asks you to hide a fact, you can say, "I share facts fast." If someone asks you to delay a reply to avoid bad news, you can say, "I return messages within 24 hours." If someone asks you to skip a quality check to save time, you can say, "I follow the plan when tired." You're not trying to win a debate. You are stating how you act. Clear lines save time and reduce stress. Review your code once a month. Pick a date you can remember. The first day of the month is simple. Read each line. Ask if the words still fit. If a line feels wrong, change it. If the code is too long, cut it. If it is too short to guide you, add a sentence. Do not chase perfect language. Chase usefulness. The code lives to support action when the pressure is high. It should be sharp and plain. If you lead a team, you can share your code. Keep the tone humble. Invite others to ask about it. Do not impose it. Each person can write their own short code. If you do share, match your words with action. When people see the same behavior again and again, they trust the code. If you fail to act by your code, admit it and reset. This builds strength over time. It is slow and steady work. Let us look at a few emotional spikes and how the code and the pause can help. You open your inbox and see a complaint from a client. You feel anger in your jaw. You label it. Anger. You breathe for 2 minutes. You check hunger, sleep, and isolation. You realize you have not eaten since early morning. You eat a small snack. You read your code. Honesty, discipline, service. You write a 2-line reply that shares facts, sets a call time, and avoids blame. You send it within 24 hours. You log a quick note in your decision log if the issue will affect a bigger choice. You return to your block. You are writing a hiring decision in your log. A wave of pride makes you want to speed through the risks. You label it. Pride. You breathe. You notice the buzz in your hands. You check the basics. You slept well. You ate lunch. You have been alone all day. You stand up and take a 5-minute walk. You return and read your code. Discipline means follow the plan when tired. You add the base rate for hiring success in your sector. You write the risks in clear words. You set a review date. You finish the entry without pressing for a rosy guess. You move to the next task. You get a message from someone who got a promotion you wanted. You feel envy. You label it. Envy. You breathe. You feel pressure in your chest. You check the basics. You are fine. You open your code. Service means return messages within 24 hours. You send them a short note of congratulations. You write one next step for your own growth that fits your code, such as schedule a training session or ask for feedback. You block time for it. You keep moving. Some days the feeling will be too strong for a short pause to settle. That is normal. You are not broken. On those days, protect others from your reaction by setting boundaries. Delay public messages. Do small, safe tasks that are on your left list. Take a short walk. Do a short body scan. Start at your head and move down slowly, naming what you feel without judgment. If strong feelings persist for many days and block daily life, consider speaking with a qualified professional. Getting help is a practical step, not a failure. There is a reason old Stoic writers gave direct commands about attention and action. They lived with pressure and wanted tools they could use at once. Your pause and your code sit in that line. You are not aiming to erase emotion. You are aiming to steer it, so your day still points at what matters. When you do this again and again, you will notice more space between a feeling and a move. You will still feel. You will act with care. Connect this inner work to your outer system. In the morning, when you draw your 2 lists, read your code, and look at your decision log. Pick your top 3. Block time. During the day, when a sharp feeling appears, label it, breathe, check the basics, choose one action that supports your main goal. At night, review what worked and what did not. If an emotion drove a choice, write that in your notes. This loop teaches your mind to separate fact from noise and to act by your values under stress. Keep your tools simple. You do not need special apps. You can use a cheap notebook and a pen. You can use the Notes app you already have. You can even write your code by hand on a small card and carry it. The point is not the form. The point is that you can reach your code and your pause in any place, in any role, under any load. When your phone is full of alerts, your code is still there. When a meeting goes sideways, your pause is still there. When a plan shifts in the afternoon, your breath is still there. Be patient with yourself. Some days you will forget to label the feeling. Some days you will skip the code. You will notice later. You can restart in the next block. This is training, not a test. You are building a set of small moves that help you act under pressure without losing your center. These moves do not need extra time. They replace habits that drain you. They also help you speak in plain words when others feel heat, which can steady a room. If you want to make the code more precise over time, keep a small record. When the code helped, write one line at day's end. When it failed, write one line. Look at these lines once a month when you review the code. You will see which parts are doing work and which parts are empty. Cut the empty parts. Keep the lines that move your hands. Clear words plus repeated use equals trust in your own process. You can teach this to others without preaching. When someone near you feels a spike, you can ask, "What are you feeling right now?" in one word. You can ask, "Where is it in your body?" You can suggest 2 minutes of slow breathing. You can ask what one step supports our main goal today. You can share your code if they ask. You can invite them to write their own. You cannot force it. You can model it. People learn by seeing steady behavior. Notice the link between this inner work and better planning. When you run a big plan in a pressure zone, fear and hope will both show up. If you name them and breathe, you can look at the plan with clear eyes. If you read your code, you can choose steps that match who you want to be when things get hard. That steadiness pays off when you prepare for loss and change before they arrive. It helps you sit down, picture a plan that failed, list the causes, and write triggers you will use later without panic. This turns fear into steps and keeps the work moving even when luck turns. Do you want a way to see where a plan can break before it breaks? Your morning split gives you focus. Your decision log makes your thinking visible. Your short code keeps you steady when feelings rise. Now you can add one more tool that turns fear into steps. It is called a pre-mortem. The word sounds technical, but the idea is simple. You sit down with a plan that matters. You imagine that it failed. You assume the failure is real. Then you write clear reasons why it failed. You are not looking for blame. You are looking for causes you can act on while there is still time. When you finish that list, you pick the few risks that matter most. You assign an owner for each one. You write a trigger for each risk. A trigger is a clear signal that tells you to act. You also write the first action you will take when that trigger fires. You put all of this in one visible place and you check it on a schedule. When the signal arrives, you follow the step you already wrote. You do not debate in a rush. You already did the thinking when you were calm. Here is how you run one in normal work. Block a short time when your energy is good. 30 minutes is enough for a small plan. 1 hour is enough for a big one. Bring the plan. Bring a blank page. State the plan in one short line so it is clear. For example, open a second location in March next year, or roll out a new billing system by August 1st, or run a client event on May 10th. Now write a line at the top that says, "The plan failed." Write that sentence as if it already happened. Give yourself a few minutes to list reasons in plain words. Keep each reason short. Think of outside hits and inside errors. Outside hits include market drops, supplier issues, new rules, or a sudden cost rise. Inside errors include late handoffs, unclear roles, weak training, rushed testing, or missed steps. If a reason feels vague, make it concrete. Instead of team was not aligned, write finance did not see the cash need for setup month. Instead of marketing was slow, write landing page copy delivered 1 week late. This makes each cause something you can address. When the list feels complete for now, choose the few that move the most. You do not need 10. 3 to 5 is plenty for a start. For each of these, write the name of one person who will be the owner. Owner means the person who watches the risk. This is not about blame. It is about attention. The owner keeps an eye on the signals, checks the numbers or dates, and speaks up when the trigger hits. Next, write a trigger for each risk. A trigger must be specific. It must be easy to see without a meeting. It can be a number, a date, or a simple event. Instead of sales are low, write weekly new orders under half of the target for 3 weeks. Instead of costs rising, write setup cost estimate rises by more than 15%. Instead of training is behind, Write fewer than 2 practice runs finished by April 5th. Now, beside each trigger, write the first action. First action means the exact next move you will take when the signal appears. If runway drops under 6 months, freeze hiring and send a note to finance and human resources. If weekly orders fall under the trigger, cut ad spend that is not tied to proven channels and move that cash to the best source. If practice runs fall behind, pull one person from non-critical work to help unlock 2 dates for sessions next week. Simple, short, and ready to use. Put all triggers in one place that people can see. A one-page note works. A whiteboard near the team works. A short file in your shared folder works. The tool does not matter. The act matters. Pick a day and time each week to check the triggers. Many teams pick Monday morning or Friday afternoon. Write the time in words and add it to your calendar so you do not skip it. During the check, the owner reads each trigger out loud and says whether the signal is close, far, or fired. If a trigger fired, the owner confirms that the first action is done or being done today. Keep this short. If a change is needed, make it and write it down under the trigger with today's date written out. Let us walk through a clear example. You plan to roll out a new billing system by August 1st, 2025. You run a pre-mortem in early March. You write, "The rollout failed." Reasons include vendor delay, data migration errors, staff not trained, customer notices unclear, and compliance review late. You pick the top few, you assign owners, you write triggers. Vendor delay gets the trigger, no signed delivery timeline by April 1st. First action, escalate to vendor lead by phone and email and add a backup vendor call by April 3rd. Data migration gets the trigger, test batch error rate above 5% by June 1st. First action, freeze new features for 1 week and move 2 engineers to migration tests. Training gets the trigger, fewer than 3 training sessions completed by July 1st. First action, schedule daily sessions for 1 week and pull 1 leader to teach. Customer notices get the trigger, draft not approved by July 10th. First action, send a plain notice template to legal and marketing and approve by July 15th. Compliance gets the trigger, review not booked by May 15th. First action, book a meeting slot and send the checklist on May 16th. All of these live in one page. All of them have owners. All of them have clear first moves. Write buffers into the plan after the pre-mortem. A buffer is extra time, money, or people you add on purpose to absorb shocks. It is not waste. It is care. If the base time for a task is 2 weeks, plan for 3 weeks. If cash is tight, set aside an amount equal to 1 extra month of costs. If a key person is the only one who knows a process, train a second person for a few hours each week. Buffers make you steady when events push. You do not boast about buffers. You use them when needed. If you do not need them, you finish early or save the cash. Note buffers in the plan so that no one strips them in a rush. Keep the tone of the pre-mortem clean. This is not a session to point at people. It is a space to see blind spots while you can still act. If you run it with others, invite all voices. Ask the quietest person to speak first. Give each person a few minutes to write down reasons in silence before speaking. This reduces anchoring on the first loud opinion. Use plain words. Ban labels that judge character. Focus on steps, dates, handoffs, tools, and facts. Some words you may hear can sound like jargon. If someone says burn rate, they mean how much money you spend each month. If someone says pipeline, they mean leads that may become customers. If someone says compliance, they mean rules you must follow. When these words appear, stop and ask for a plain language line. Write that line in the pre-mortem. The goal is that anyone can read the page and know what to watch. Be careful about the number of triggers. If you write too many, no one will watch them. Pick the few that warn you early and point to a clear action. Make each trigger easy to measure. Use sources you already check, such as weekly reports or a calendar date. Avoid triggers that need debate, such as morale is low. If something feels soft, find a simple proxy that you can see. For morale, you might use the number of deadline slips in a week, or the number of unplanned absences. The proxy is not perfect. It is a signal that something might need care. Link your triggers to your decision log. When you write a big choice, add a short line at the end that lists the main triggers you will watch. Add the first review date for those triggers to your calendar. When a trigger fires, add a dated note under the decision entry with the action you took. Over time, this builds a clean history of how you handled risk. You will see which triggers were useful and which were noise. You will also see whether your first actions were strong enough. You can then improve the next set. Use your code during a pre-mortem. Hard plans can stir fear or pride. Read your code before you start. It will steady your tone. If your code says honesty means share facts fast, even when costly, you will be more likely to write the risk that a key client may leave during the rollout. If your code says discipline means follow the plan when tired, you will be more likely to keep the weekly trigger check when the week is heavy. Values are not posters. They are anchors when you face stress. Run pre-mortems for personal plans too. If you plan to move cities in December, write the plan. Imagine it failed and list causes. Apartment not ready, job offer delayed, school place not confirmed, moving company late. Write triggers with dates. Apartment lease not signed by October 1st. First action, book a short-term rental as a backup. Job contract not received by September 15th. First action, ask for written terms and give a deadline. School not confirmed by November 1st. First action, call 2 other schools and ask for waitlist status. Put all of this in one page. Check it weekly. When a trigger fires, do the step. This reduces panic during a big life change. Expect some pushback when you start this. Some people will say it is negative. It is not. It is honest. You are not predicting doom. You are making room for reality. Others will say it takes extra time. It does, a small amount. That time is an investment. It reduces the long delays that come from surprises you could have seen. Some will say you cannot plan for everything. That is true. You do not need to. You pick a few big risks and prepare simple moves. The rest you will handle with your normal skills. Watch for pitfalls. One common trap is writing fuzzy triggers. If a trigger says team not ready, no one will know when to act. Replace it with a clear sign, such as fewer than 2 practice runs, completed by the end of this week. Another trap is waiting to act even when the trigger fires. This happens when pride or fear gets in the way. Protect yourself from this by naming the first action in advance and by asking the owner to report when it is done. A third trap is using the pre-mortem as a place to vent. Keep feelings for a separate space. Keep this space for steps and signals. After you finish a pre-mortem and write triggers, update the plan document. Keep the original version near it so you can see what changed. Add buffers. Add owners next to key steps. Add the weekly trigger check to your calendar with the time written out. Place the one page of triggers on your wall where your eye will see it. This physical cue helps on busy days when memory is thin. When a trigger fires, move fast on the first step you wrote. Do not open a long debate. Debate came earlier when you were calm. Now you act. After the first step, you can meet to choose the second step if needed. Keep those follow-up talks short. Bring the decision log entry and the pre-mortem page to the table. State what happened in plain words. Choose the next move. Write it down. Do it. Learn from each cycle. At the end of the project or at a set review date, read the pre-mortem page. Mark which risks happened. Mark which triggers fired on time. Mark which first steps worked. Write a few lines about what you would do next time. Store this note with the plan. Over months and years, these notes will teach you your own patterns of risk. You will see where you were blind. You will also see where you worried too much. This lets you tune your next plan. You can drop signals that never help and sharpen those that do. Invite facts from outside your bubble. Many risks do not need a guess. You can check the typical result for efforts like yours. This is called the base rate. It means the usual odds in the real world. If most new billing systems take longer than expected, you can find reports that show by how much. If many new locations close within the first year in your area, you can find public records that show that rate. When you know these odds, you can shape your triggers and buffers with more care. You can set dates that match reality and cache cushions that fit the true risk. Connect this tool to your day. In the morning, when you draw the two lists, scan the trigger page. If a check is due today, put it on the left side and block time. If a trigger is close, add one prep task to your left list so you are ready. In your decision log, write the review date for major triggers so you do not lose them. When you feel stressed during the day, use your pause and your code before you speak about a risk. Clear heads make clear triggers. You can start small. Pick one plan that matters this month. Run a pre-mortem for 30 minutes. Write the few key risks. Assign owners. Write triggers with first steps. Put the page where all can see it. Check it once a week at a set time. When a signal hits, act. When the plan ends, write what you learned in a few lines. Repeat the practice next month on another plan. As you do this, you will shift how you think about uncertainty. Loss and change will not feel like total shocks. They will feel like parts of the path that you saw and prepared for. You will not control the world. You will accept what happens fast and do your duty. You will keep the work moving. You will also have cleaner data for future plans because you will know how often certain risks show up and what signs matter. That opens the door to one more simple move that makes plans stronger. You can add the usual odds for efforts like yours to your notes so that your timeframes, budgets, and expectations match the world you work in. Do you want a way to check your plan against what usually happens in the real world? You already sort your day with two lists. You write big choices in a simple log. You steady your tone with a short code. You run pre-mortems and set triggers. There is one more move that takes guesswork out of plans. It is the base rate. A base rate is the typical result for efforts like yours in the real world. It is not a dream. It is not a story from one person. It is a plain number from a group of cases. When you add this number to your notes, you shape your plan with facts that are bigger than your own hope. You also give yourself a way to check if your expectations match what others actually get. Here is what this means in daily terms. You plan to hire a sales lead. You feel good about a candidate. Your decision log entry lists your reasons and an expected outcome. Before you lock it, you look for public data about new sales leaders in your sector. You find that a large share does not meet targets in the first year. Maybe the share is around 30%. You write that in your entry with a short note on where you found it. You do not give up. You do not panic. You adjust your plan. You build a deeper onboarding. You add a backup path. You set a review date that checks progress earlier. Your choice is now built on both your view from inside and the usual odds from outside. You can do this for many kinds of work. If you plan to open a new store, ask what share of new stores in your area survive the first year. If you plan to launch a new product, ask how long it usually takes to reach steady sales. If you plan a move to a new city, ask how long it takes people to find housing and settle. If you plan a marketing push, ask what open rates and conversion rates are normal for your channel and audience. You will not find perfect matches every time. You can still find numbers that are close enough to guide your plan. The goal is not exact prediction. The goal is to avoid wishful thinking. Finding base rates is a simple search and ask process. Start with public sources. Government sites publish data on business births and deaths, job turnover, loans, housing, and many other areas. Trade groups publish benchmarks for their members. Analysts publish sector reports. Large firms release annual reports that include unit growth, churn, and other facts. Universities publish studies with outcome rates for specific efforts. You can also ask peers in your network for their ranges. When you get numbers, write down the source and the context in plain words. A number with a source you can name is useful. A number with a story and no source is not. Keep your base rate line short and clear. Write the subject, the number, the time frame, and the source. You might write, "New stores in this district have a 60% survival rate after 1 year. City registry data last year." You might write, "New enterprise sales leaders meet target in about 50% of cases in the first 12 months. Trade group survey last year." You might write, "Typical time to break even for a similar service is 9 months. Analyst note last quarter." Add this line to your decision log entry under expected outcome. Add any major caveat that matters, such as location, company size, or price point. Now, shape your plan with what you learned. If the typical time to break even is 9 months, plan for 12 months of cash. If a key hire has a high failure rate in the first year, design an onboarding that lasts for a clear number of weeks, with checkpoints, coaching, and a simple way to exit if needed. If the usual email open rate is low, do not count on a high rate to hit your numbers. Design more than one channel. If store survival is mixed in your area, pick a lease length and a cost structure that gives you a way out if needed. These are not negative moves. They are smart moves built on the world as it is. You can link base rates to your pre-mortems and triggers. When you list reasons a plan might fail, use base rates to make the reasons sharper. If data says that first versions of software often slip past the target date, write a trigger tied to that slip and a first action that stops scope creep. If data says support teams need a certain headcount at a certain customer count, write a trigger tied to that number and a first action that starts hiring before customers feel the pain. Base rates help you answer the question, what signal should we watch, with more confidence. Use base rates to set review dates. If typical onboarding takes 3 months to show results, do not set your first review at 6 months. Set it at 1 month and 3 months. If typical customer churn rises at a certain season, set a review date 2 weeks before that season to check renewals. This keeps you ahead of common patterns. It also reduces the emotional swing that comes from day-to-day noise because you will look at the right time frames on purpose. Add the base rate line to your decision log entries as a standard field. This keeps the habit alive. Here is how that looks. June 12, 2025. Topic: Pilot a new service in one city. Options: pilot now, wait for more research, cancel. Choice: pilot now. Reasons: 6 warm leads, low setup cost, strong partner interest. Expected outcome: 5 paying clients within 3 months. Base rate: pilots in this niche convert to paid at about 40% within 3 months. Trade group survey last year. Risks: partner withdraws, legal review slows, ad copy weak. Review on September 12, 2025. With this one line, you can see at a glance whether your expected outcome sits above, below, or near the usual result. You can then shape buffers and triggers with that in mind. Treat base rates as a starting point, not a cage. Your case may beat the average. Your case may lag the average. The point is to start from the ground that many others stood on and then adjust with your facts. If you have strong reasons to expect a better result, write them. If you lack those reasons, do not build a plan that depends on a rare outcome. This stance protects your team and your cash. It also builds trust because your plan can be explained in plain words to anyone who asks why you chose a given time frame or budget. Be careful about context. A base rate from a large firm may not fit a small firm. A base rate from a different country may not fit your rules and costs. A base rate from 5 years ago may not fit today. When you write the line, include the time and the scope. If the match is loose, admit it. If you cannot find a close match, pick the best you can and lower your confidence in the exact number. Then collect your own data as you move so you can update the rate with what you learn. Build your own base rate library over time. Your decision log already has expected outcomes and review dates. At each review, write the actual result. After a few cycles, you can scan past entries and see your own typical times and success rates. You might learn that your team needs 4 weeks to ship a certain kind of feature. You might learn that your sales cycle is usually 90 days for a certain customer size. You might learn that your support team can handle a certain number of tickets per person per day before response time slips. These are your base rates. They are stronger than public numbers for your work because they match your tools, your people, and your market. You can keep a simple summary of these numbers in a short note. Do not make a complex dashboard. Write the subject in plain words and the range you see. Update it when the number shifts for real. Share it with your team so that everyone plans from the same ground. When a new person joins, this note helps them learn how things move in your shop. It also keeps debates short because people can point to shared facts. Watch for traps when you use base rates. One trap is cherry picking. You may want to pick a number that supports your hope. Resist that. Write the numbers you find, even if they are not pretty. Another trap is using a single story from a friend to replace a number. Stories are useful. They do not stand in for data. A third trap is using very old numbers. The world shifts. If your source is old, say so and try to find a fresher one. A fourth trap is using the base rate as a reason to delay anything hard. Base rates are not chains. They are guardrails. Use them to shape your move, not to avoid it. Translate base rates into simple buffers. If a task often runs late by a week, add a week to your plan. If cash flow is tight in a certain season, add a small reserve in the month before. If customer response time often slips during holidays, schedule extra support. When you do this, write the buffer in the plan, not just in your head. People cannot respect a buffer they cannot see. If someone tries to cut the buffer, show the base rate line. The point is not to be stubborn. The point is to protect outcomes that matter. Use base rates to set fair expectations with others. When you speak to a client, you can say, "The usual time for this work is 12 weeks. We plan for 14 weeks to cover common delays." When you speak to a manager, you can say, "The usual ramp time for this role is 3 months. We will check at 1 month and 3 months." When you speak to your team, you can say, "The usual pilot conversion is 40%. We will budget for 30% and try to beat it." These statements are simple and honest. They also give people a calm frame that reduces pressure to promise what you cannot deliver. Combine base rates with your code when pressure rises. If pride pushes you to promise a very fast date, read your code line on honesty and discipline. State the base rate and your plan without spin. If fear pushes you to cancel a good idea because the base rate is not perfect, read your code and ask if courage or learning sits in it. You can start small, set clear reviews, and learn. Your code keeps your tone steady when numbers trigger feelings. Include base rates in your nightly review. When you answer what worked, what failed, and what you will change tomorrow, ask if any expectation missed the base rate by a large gap. If it did, write a short line on why. Maybe the base rate did not fit your case. Maybe you missed a fact. Maybe luck moved the result. Note it and move on. Over weeks, these lines will sharpen your sense of when to trust a number and when to adjust it. Let us walk through a full example to see how the pieces fit. You plan to open a small office in a new city? You write a decision log entry with date, options, choice, reasons, expected outcome, risks, and review dates. Before you finalize, you search city records and find that new small offices in your sector often take 6 months to reach steady revenue. You write that line with the source. You then run a pre-mortem. You write that the plan failed. You list causes such as lease delay, permit issues, slow hiring, low lead flow. You pick the top ones. You assign owners. You write triggers such as lease not signed by October 1st, or fewer than 10 warm leads by month 2, or first hire not made by November 15th. You write first actions for each. You add buffers to cash and time. You attach the trigger page to the plan. You schedule weekly checks. You put the first review in your calendar. The plan now sits on a base rate, has triggers, has buffers, and has review dates. It is built to move through real conditions, not just through hope. Notice how this approach reduces drama. You do not need bold claims. You do not need to sell a vision to yourself. You set clear expectations based on common results. You still aim to do great work. You still give your best. You just stop counting on rare wins to make a plan look good on paper. This builds calm in you and in those who work with you. You can also use base rates to improve hiring and contracts. If you know that a new engineer in your stack usually needs 8 weeks to contribute at full speed, you can write that into the job pitch and the onboarding plan. If you know that contract reviews in your area take 2 weeks, you can write that into timelines and avoid pressing legal teams for impossible dates. You are not lowering the bar. You are setting a real bar and then working to meet or beat it with skill. Over time, your own history becomes your best base rate source. Keep your decision log alive. Keep your review dates. When you learn that your estimates are always off in one direction, adjust your rules. Maybe you add a simple step to double-check time estimates with the person who will do the work. Maybe you add a small delay before final promises so that you can scan base rates and buffers one more time. These are small moves. They add up. Base rates can also help you guard your attention. If you know that news and alerts pull you off work more than you think, you can set a clear window for news. You can turn off autoplay and badges. You can require a written agenda for meetings. You can replace status meetings with 2 short paragraphs sent in writing. None of these moves need a special app. They need a clear rule and steady use. When you put rules in place to protect your time, you reduce errors and you make it easier to hit the outcomes your base rates suggest are possible. Do you ever end a day tired and wonder where your time went? You already sort your morning into what you can do and what you cannot. You record big choices in plain words. You steady your tone with a short code. You run pre-mortems and add base rates so your plans match the world. Now you can protect that work with simple rules that guide your day. These rules guard attention, make meetings useful, reduce errors, and keep learning steady. They are short, clear, and built to work under pressure. Start with attention. Set a news window so that headlines do not leak into every hour. Pick one small block for news, such as 20 minutes at midday. Outside that window, do not open news sites or videos. If you need news for your job, gather it once in that window and move on. Turn off autoplay so videos do not start by themselves. Turn off badges so small red dots do not pull your eye. Turn off push alerts so your phone does not break your focus in every block. If a tool does not allow this, move it off your home screen. Use focus mode on your phone during your top 3 blocks so only a few people can reach you. Tell those people the times you will be reachable. Then keep your word. This is not about hiding. It is about giving full attention to the work you already chose. Email needs the same care. Create a filter that moves newsletters and promos to a later folder. They will be there when you have time. Set 2 windows to process mail, such as late morning and late afternoon. During those windows, answer what matters, archive the rest, and add any real task to your left side list for tomorrow. If someone needs you fast, let them know your response windows and offer a short call at a clear time. This stops you from living in your inbox and gives people a reliable pattern. Meetings should earn their time. Require a written agenda before you agree. An agenda is a short note with the goal and the few points we must cover to reach it. Require a decision owner. The decision owner is the person who will say yes or no at the end. Require a time limit with a real end time. If a meeting lacks these, ask for them or do not hold it. This is not rude, it is clear. Many meetings can be replaced with a short written update. Ask for 2 short paragraphs instead. The first paragraph says what happened, what is the current status, and any blockers. The second paragraph says the next step and any decision needed, with a line that names the decision owner. People can read this in a few minutes. If no decision is needed, skip the live time when you must meet open by reading the goal in 1 line. Ask the decision owner to confirm it. Move through the points in order. Park side topics in a note and assign a separate time if they matter. Close with the decision stated in plain words, the owner of each next step, and the date for a checkback. Write these lines in a short note and share them. This stops memory drift and protects trust. If the group needs more time, end on time and book a short follow-up with a tighter agenda. The aim is to reach outcomes with less noise, not to fill the calendar. Protect a few deep work blocks each day. A deep work block is a stretch of time when you do one hard task without switching. Use a simple timer. Many people work well in a block of 50 minutes with a 10-minute break. Others prefer 90 minutes with a 15-minute break. Pick one rhythm and try it for a week. During the block, close your messenger, close your inbox, and keep only the file you need. Put your phone face down in another room or in focus mode. At the start of the block, read the task you wrote on your calendar in plain words. Do the first 2 minutes. That small start lowers the weight in your mind. When the timer ends, step away for a short break. Drink water, stretch. Then begin the next block or process messages during your planned window. End the day with a fast review. Keep it clean and short. Ask yourself 3 questions in plain words. What worked today? What failed today? What will I change tomorrow? Write 1 or 2 lines for each. Do not write a page. This is a drill, not a diary. Track 1 metric that matters for your current season. It could be hours of deep work, sales calls completed, lines of code reviewed, articles drafted, cash saved, or workouts done. Pick 1 metric and mark the number. Then close the book. Set a simple rule to make this a habit. At 21:30, open the journal and write for 5 minutes. Put a reminder on your phone with the time written out. When the reminder appears, stop what you are doing and do the drill. Small, steady reviews add up to real learning. Use cooling-off periods for large moves. A cooling-off period is a set gap between a strong urge and a big action. For hires, deals, or big shifts, insert a clear wait. You could take 1 night to sleep on a final offer. You could wait 48 hours before signing a large contract. During the wait, read your decision log entry, your base rate line, and your pre-mortem triggers. Ask if any new facts appeared. Ask if your reasons still hold in plain words. If they do, proceed. If they do not, adjust. This single pause reduces regret and protects you from acting in a spike of emotion. Checklists reduce errors when the cost of a miss is high. A checklist is a short set of steps you read at the moment of action. It is not a manual, it is a memory aid. You use it to confirm the key steps you might skip when you are tired or rushed. In 2009, a World Health Organization study across 8 cities found that a simple surgical checklist cut major complications and deaths in hospitals. The lesson is that even experts miss steps under pressure, and simple checks help. You can build checklists for your own important tasks. For hiring, you can confirm that the role is defined in plain words, that interviews use the same questions for each candidate, that references were checked by phone, that a small trial task was reviewed, and that the written offer was proofread. For releases, you can confirm that tests passed in the right environments, that rollback steps are written, that a person is on call, and that customer notes are ready. For finance, you can confirm that terms match the contract, that legal checked wording, that signatures are complete, and that a copy is stored where people can find it. Keep each checklist short. Read it out loud with a teammate for the steps that carry the most risk. Mark each item as you go. Store the checklist where you do the work so you see it at the right moment. Keep tools minimal so your system does not become heavy. A cheap notebook, a calendar, and a timer cover most needs. Your notebook holds your morning split, your nightly review, and your decision log. Your calendar holds your top 3 blocks, your review dates, and your meeting windows. Your timer shapes your deep work blocks and your breaks. On your phone, use focus mode during your blocks so only key calls get through. In your email, use filters to send newsletters to a later folder. In your files, keep a plain text index of your decisions with dates written out so you can search and audit choices in seconds. The simpler the tools, the easier it is to keep them close and use them when it counts. Set clear boundaries around your day. Pick a start time you can keep. Pick an end time you can keep. At the start, sit down, read your short code, draw your 2 lists, and block your top 3. During the day, protect your deep work blocks and your response windows. At the end, run your nightly review and shut down your tools. If you work with others across zones, state your window for replies in your email signature. This sets expectations and reduces late pings that break your rest. Rest is not a luxury. It is fuel for the next day's focus. Be ready to adjust rules that do not fit. Some roles need more live contact. Some seasons need more reviews. If a rule feels too tight and creates workarounds, soften it. If a rule is too loose and invites chaos, tighten it. Change one rule at a time and keep the new version for a week before judging it. You are building a small set of stable habits that make your day predictable and fair. Predictable days reduce stress and raise quality. Watch for traps. One trap is using rules to avoid hard talks. If a meeting needs a real conversation, do not hide behind a cancelled invite. Share a short note, then meet to decide. Another trap is turning the nightly review into a long vent. Keep it short and factual. A third trap is adding more tools when the work feels heavy. More tools are not the answer. Fewer, clearer moves are the answer. A fourth trap is breaking your own focus windows for small pings. Each break trains others to expect a fast reply at all times. Protect the windows and your word will gain weight. Teach your rules by example. Share your 2 paragraphs before a meeting. Decline a meeting without an agenda and offer an update instead. Send your daily review metric to a teammate if it helps both of you stay honest. Use checklists in front of others so they see that care is normal. Thank people who follow the rules. Do not shame those who forget. Offer clear reminders. Culture changes through small actions repeated. Connect these operating rules to your decision system. Your morning split picks the work. Your decision log makes big choices visible. Your code keeps your tone steady. Your pre-mortems and base rates make plans real. Your attention rules and checklists protect the hours where you move the plan. Your nightly review locks in learning. Each part supports the others. If one part slips, the rest still carry you. When they all run, your day feels lighter because fewer things fight for your mind. You can start small today. Pick one rule that will give you time back right away. You can set one news window at midday. You can turn off autoplay, badges, and push alerts. You can ask for an agenda, a decision owner, and a time limit for the next meeting. You can replace a status call with 2 short paragraphs. You can pick a nightly review time, such as 20:30, and set a 5-minute timer. You can write a checklist for one task this week. You do not need permission to do these. You can try them for 1 week and see what changes. If a step helps, keep it. If it does not, adjust it. Notice how these rules touch money without talking about money yet. When you protect attention, you stop wasting hours. When you run useful meetings, you save fees and salaries that would go to empty time. When you reduce errors with checklists, you avoid rework and harm. When you insert cooling-off periods, you avoid rushed moves that cost cash. Focus and care improve results and protect resources. This matters because strong wants are waiting in the wings. Ads will reach you. Offers will reach you. Shortcuts will reach you. Without small frictions around desire and spending, your plan can leak through many small holes. The same steady approach you used for attention can help you handle wants and money with calm steps that keep you safe and keep your work moving. Do your wants ever jump ahead of your plan? You already protect your time with clear rules. You choose your top 3, you write your big choices, you steady your tone, you prepare for risk, and you set review dates that match the world. Money sits inside all of that. Desire pushes from the side. Ads arrive. Offers arrive. A new tool calls your name. A trip looks fun. Without small breaks, wants grow and your plan leaks. You do not need force. You need simple frictions that slow quick moves and make room for choice. Start with a hold on non-essential buys. When you want to buy something that is not needed for health, safety, or key work this week, write the item on a wants list with today's date written out. Do not put it in a cart. Do not click buy. Give it a 72-hour delay. The delay is the friction. It gives your mind time to test the want against your plan. Keep this list in one place you can reach, such as a small note on your phone or a card in your wallet. Once a week, pick a set time, read the list, and ask which items still matter after the delay. Most will fade. A few will stay. If an item still matters and it fits your budget and your values, you can buy it without debate. If it faded, cross it out and move on. This is not about saying no to everything. It is about moving spending from impulse to choice. Support this with small changes in your tools. Unsubscribe from promo emails. The link is at the bottom of the message. If it is hard to find, search the sender's website for how to opt out. Remove shopping apps from your home screen so you do not tap them by habit. Turn off push alerts for deals and drops. Delete saved cards in your browsers so a purchase needs a few more steps. Each small step adds just enough friction that you pause and ask if the item supports your plan. Automate the good move on payday. Pick a percent of income that goes to savings before you see it. Many people start with 5%. Some start with 10%. Choose a percent you can keep. Set an automatic transfer to run on the same day your pay arrives. Move the money to a savings account that is not linked to a card. Name the account with a clear purpose, such as emergency fund or runway buffer. When money moves by rule, you do not need willpower. If a large bill is coming, you can lower the percent for 1 month and then raise it back. The point is to build a base that grows without daily effort. Give spending a window just like you gave news a window. Decide a short time when you will handle personal purchases, such as late afternoon for 15 minutes. Outside that window, you do not shop. During the window, you look at your wants list, you check your budget, and you decide. This keeps buying out of your deep work blocks and out of your nights. It also lowers the number of times you open a store app, which means fewer chances to add random items. Use simple language inside your head when a want appears. Say, this goes on the wants list with a 72-hour hold. If the want keeps shouting, use the same pause you use for sharp feelings. Label the feeling. Maybe it is excitement or fear of missing out. Breathe for 2 minutes. Check hunger, sleep, and isolation. Many quick buys arrive when you are tired or low. Eat. Drink water. Step outside. Then look at your code. If your code says honesty, discipline, and service, ask if this buy serves those lines today. If it does, you can keep it on the list and review at the set time. If it does not, you can let it go. Track one money metric at night for a few weeks while you build these frictions. You can track number of impulse buys caught by the 72-hour rule. You can track dollars saved by not buying items that faded. You can track on-time savings transfers. Pick one metric and write the number. This will make the habit feel real. It will also show you progress, even on days that feel messy. Guard against big mistakes. Large losses can erase months or years of effort. A 50% loss needs a 100% gain to recover. That is hard. You do not need to chase high returns to build wealth. You need to avoid large holes. Write a few rules that block moves with a high chance of harm. You can use plain rules that you apply every time. If you do not understand a deal in simple words on one page, do not sign it. If a contract does not state duties, dates, payment terms, and exit terms in clear language, do not agree. If a hire does not have a written role and a simple trial or probation plan, do not make the offer. If someone pushes for a same-day decision on a large purchase or deal, do not agree. If a move would risk more than you can afford to lose, do not make it. These rules are not fear. They are care. They lower the odds of a big hit that would slow your plan for a long time. Define one more word that can appear in money talk. Some people say, drawdown. That means the drop from a high point to a lower point. If your savings peak at a certain number and then fall, the size of that fall is the drawdown. Your rules should aim to keep drawdowns small. You do this by avoiding rushed bets, unclear agreements, and weak controls. You also do this by using checklists for important steps, as you learned earlier, so that avoidable errors do not cost you. Bring your decision log into money choices. When you face a large buy, a hire, or a new vendor, write an entry. State the options, the choice, the reasons, the expected result, the risks, the review date, and the base rate, if one exists. Add a short line with your money rules and whether the choice passes them. Include a cooling-off period date. Add a trigger that would cause you to pause or reverse. When the review date arrives, check the outcome. If you missed, write what happened and what you will change. This turns money choices into a series of small experiments instead of a fog. Keep family in the loop if you share costs. A short talk on the 72-hour hold and the wants list can remove many small fights. Agree on a weekly window when you look at the list together. Agree on a savings percent you both support. Agree on a top limit for any buy that can happen without a joint talk. Write these in simple words and put them in a shared note. This is not about control, it is about clarity. It lowers stress for everyone. If you run a team or a small firm, translate these ideas into light policies. Set a purchase limit that one person can approve and a larger limit that needs a second person. Require plain one-page write-ups for large spends. Include reasons, expected outcomes, risks, and a review date. Do not allow same-day wires for new vendors. Require a small test with a new vendor before a large contract. Store contracts where all who need them can find them. Use a checklist before signing. These steps reduce waste and prevent losses that come from speed without checks. Be kind to yourself as you build frictions. Some weeks you will follow the 72-hour delay and feel calm. Some weeks you will break it. Look at what was happening in your day. Were you tired? Were you stressed? Did you skip meals? Adjust the basics? Restart the delay tomorrow. Treat this as training, not a test. The aim is not perfect restraint. The aim is control over wants so you can fund what matters. Use values to guide what you do buy. Your code can include a line about money. It might say, invest in tools that raise skill or support people who support me, or choose quality for items used daily. When a buy fits a value and passes the delay, it will feel clean. You will use it. You will not carry guilt. This is how spending and values work together. Keep an eye on subscription creep. Many small charges can crowd your budget. Once a quarter, Print or list all active subscriptions with their dates and amounts written out. Ask which you used in the last month. Cancel those you did not. For the rest, set yearly review dates in your calendar so you can avoid silent renewals. You can store login and cancel steps in a simple note so you do not waste time later. Make one small fund for faults. Life brings sudden costs. A tire goes flat, a pipe leaks, a fee arrives. An emergency fund turns shock into a task. Aim for a first goal of 1 month of living costs. Later you can build to 3 months, then 6 months. Move money to this fund automatically on payday. Name the fund emergency so you remember its purpose. When you need it, use it without shame. Then refill it with the next transfers. If debt is part of your picture, write a clear rule for it. High-cost debt can eat your plan. List your debts with rates and minimums. Pay minimums on all. Then pick the highest rate and pay extra each month until it is gone. When it is gone, move that payment to the next one. Write the plan in a short note. Check progress once a month. Do not punish yourself for past choices. Focus on the next payment. Use the same tidy tone you use at work when you handle money administration. Keep receipts in one place. File important documents in a simple folder with names written out in plain words. Set calendar reminders for tax dates and contract renewals. Write down phone numbers for your bank and card companies. When a card is lost or a charge looks wrong, you can act fast. Speed reduces damage. Keep indulgence honest and simple. Plan small treats. You can set aside a small amount each week for fun, with no rules beyond legal and safe. Spend it on purpose, enjoy it. Then return to your plan. Planned treats reduce the pull of random splurges. If a treat starts to grow into a habit that harms your budget or your sleep, label the feeling, pause, and reset your rules. You do not need to be harsh. You need to be consistent. Watch for signs that a friction is too strong. If you keep building workarounds, such as borrowing a card to bypass your rule, the rule is wrong for your life. Soften it. Extend the delay for non-essentials, but allow rare exceptions with a note in your decision log. If you never buy anything and feel tight, add a small monthly budget for wants that you must spend. If a rule is too loose, tighten it. Move your shopping window to a shorter time. Raise your savings percent by a small amount. Adjust one variable at a time and keep it for a week before judging. When a large money choice ties to a plan, use a pre-mortem just like you do for projects. Imagine the purchase or the deal failed. List reasons, write triggers, assign an owner who will watch the signals. If you buy a new tool, a trigger could be, if we do not use it for 10 hours in the first month, cancel before the free period ends. If you sign a small ad contract, a trigger could be, if cost per lead stays above our target for 2 weeks, stop the spend and review. When triggers fire, act. You already decided what to do. Connect these money moves to your daily system. In the morning, when you draw your 2 lists, add one small finance task if needed, such as cancel old subscription, move saved card from browser, or check if payday transfer ran. During your deep work blocks, do not shop. During your email windows, unsubscribe from 2 promos. At night, write your money metric. These are small moves. They add up. Notice how these habits change your tone with others. When you avoid rushed bets and vague agreements, you stop causing problems for your team. When you pay on time, people trust you. When you write clear terms, people relax. When you keep your own rules, people see you as steady. Trust grows in small steps. It grows when people see the same behavior again and again. Money is one of the fastest ways to break or build that trust. A missed invoice hurts. A late refund hurts. A vague promise about payment hurts. Clear, on-time written actions heal and prevent these wounds. Carry the same care into how you make and keep promises. Desire does not only push you to buy, it pushes you to say yes too fast. A small friction here helps as well. Before you agree to a new promise, read your morning page. Look at your top 3. Check your calendar. If the promise fits, say yes and write the next step in plain words. If it does not fit, say no or propose a later date. This protects your plan and respects the other person by giving a clear reply. When you do say yes, keep it. Send a short note that states what you will do and by when. Share updates without being asked. These moves build trust with speed. You can feel the thread now. You begin the day with control. You write your choices. You keep your center. You prepare for loss. You use real-world odds. You guard your hours. You insert frictions that keep wants in check and money safe. The result is a steady path that others can see. People start to believe your word because it matches your actions. Work with others becomes smoother because promises are clear and cash is handled with care. When people feel safe with you, they share facts sooner and move faster. That opens the door to build trust on purpose through small promises, shared notes, short check-ins, and full ownership when things go wrong so the whole group can do better work with less fear. Do you want people to trust your word so work moves faster and feels lighter? You already put small brakes on spending and you protect money with clear rules. That same steady approach builds trust at work. Trust grows when people see the same simple pattern from you again and again. You make a promise you can keep. You write it down where others can see it. You check in at a set time. You share credit when things go well. You take ownership when things go wrong. These are plain moves. They raise safety in the room and speed up decisions without noise. Begin with small promises. Say only what you can do. Use concrete words and a clear time. Instead of, "I will look into this soon," say, "I will send the draft by Friday at 4 in the afternoon." Put it in writing. Send a short note with the promise, the owner, and the check-back time. When you deliver, tell people it is done and share the file or result. If you see that you will miss, say so as early as you can. Offer a new time and state the reason in one line. Do not hide. Do not blame. This is how trust grows. It is not dramatic. It is steady. Make agreements visible. After a talk, write a short note that captures the decision, the owner, the next step, and the due time. Keep it to a few short lines. Use plain words. Share the note in a place where everyone who needs it can see it. This removes guesswork and stops memory fights. When a week passes and someone wonders what was decided, the note answers that question without debate. If the plan changes, reply on the same thread with the new line and the date written out. Keep the history intact so that anyone can follow the path. Run short one-to-one check-ins every week with people you depend on. Keep them simple and predictable. 15 minutes is enough for most roles. Use the same day and time each week. Begin with 2 questions. What is working? What is stuck? Ask one more question. What do you need from me? Listen without jumping to fix. Many blocks need a small nudge or a clear decision, not a long meeting. Keep a tiny note with the points and the next steps, and share it right after the call. This regular rhythm keeps small issues from turning into big ones. It also shows that you care about progress, not just status. Create safety in group time. Psychological safety is a phrase that means people feel safe to speak up without fear of blame or punishment. Research at Google, known as Project Aristotle, found that teams with this kind of safety delivered better results than teams that had only strong technical skill. You do not need to quote a study to use the lesson. You can build safety with simple habits. Ask questions before you state your view. Thank people who share a concern or an error. Do not interrupt. Keep reactions calm when someone brings bad news. When a person risks telling the truth, protect them in that moment. Over time, these small moves teach the group that truth is welcome and that facts beat opinion. Share credit in public and give feedback in private. When work lands well, say the names of the people who did the work and say the specific thing they did. Do it in a team channel, in an email to the group, or in a short spoken note at the start of a meeting. Keep it short and factual. This raises pride without turning it into a show. When something needs to change, speak to the person alone. State what happened, the effect it had, and what you need next. Keep your tone clean. Offer help if you own part of the block. End with a clear next step and a time to check back. People do not fear feedback when it is specific, fair, and private. Drop blame and take full ownership when a result is yours. Use plain language. Say, I own this outcome. Here is the plan to fix it by Friday. Then state the steps in simple words and a real timeline. Ask for facts you may have missed. Invite tests of your plan. You can say, please check my plan and tell me what I missed. This stance lowers fear in the room. It turns a problem into a shared task. Ownership does not mean you defend every past move. It means you carry the fix now and you ask for help with open hands. Use small scripts that help in live moments. When someone speaks up with a hard truth, say thank you for saying that. When a meeting drifts, say I want to restate the goal and the decision we need. When a debate heats up, say let us list facts we all agree on. When someone makes a claim with no support, say what evidence would we accept as proof. When a person is quiet, say I want to hear your view before we decide. When you change your mind, say I changed my mind because this new fact matters. These lines are simple. They invite calm and clear thinking. Make the ground rules for meetings visible. Start on time. Read the goal in one sentence. Name the decision owner. Do a quick round at the start where each person can raise one risk or one need. Move through the agenda in order. End on time with the decision stated, the owners named, and the next check written down. Share the note right away. If someone cannot attend, the note tells them what happened and what they owe. This approach reduces the fear that decisions happen in dark rooms. It also lowers the chance that you will need a second meeting to fix the first one. Keep a simple promise log for yourself. Each morning, glance at your calendar and your notes. Write down the promises you made yesterday that are due today. Add any promises you made in chat or in quick talks. If you cannot find a written record, write it now and send it. Then do them. At day's end, mark done or not done. If something is still open, move it and inform the person. This small habit prevents the slow decay of trust that comes from missed small promises. Many broken relationships at work began with tiny misses that piled up. Respect response windows. When you set the times you will answer messages, keep them. If you owe a reply within 24 hours, reply within 24 hours. If an issue needs more time, say I received this and will reply with a full answer by tomorrow evening. Then do it. This pattern allows people to plan around you. It reduces the urge to ping you again and again. It also keeps your own stress low because you are not fighting constant interruptions. Teach others how to work with you. Write a short shared note that states how you handle promises, notes, check-ins, and decisions. Keep it under 200 words. Use the same plain language you use in your code. Share it with new teammates on day one. Invite them to share their own patterns. When people know your rhythm, they can sync with it. When they do not, they guess, and guessing causes friction. Be careful with praise. Make it specific. Say what the person did and the effect it had. Avoid empty words. If you say great job to everything, praise loses weight. If you say you caught the error in the report and saved us a day, thank you. The person knows what to keep doing. Specific praise teaches the team what matters. Handle conflict with a calm script. Start by stating the fact in one line. Yesterday's shipment arrived 2 days late. State the effect in one line. Our client could not start on time. State the request in one line. We need a plan to hit the next date. Then ask for their view. What happened on your side? Listen. Agree on one step and a time to check. Write it down. Avoid labels. Avoid past debt unless it helps the fix. Stay on the task. This keeps dignity and moves the work. Use your decision log to open your thinking when a choice affects others. Share the entry. Ask what facts you missed. Ask what risks others see. Keep the discussion in writing until you must meet. This saves time and shows respect for other people's focus. When you do meet, your notes make the time tight and clear. Do not weaponize rules. Rules are not shields to avoid hard talks. If a teammate is upset, do not say the process says no and walk away. Explain the reason in simple words. Offer one alternative path. If nothing can change, say so with care. People can accept a no when they feel heard and when the reason is honest. Protect dignity when you give feedback. Do it soon. Do it in private. Use the smallest group possible. Speak softly. Stick to facts and effects. Ask for their view. Agree on a next step and a check date. End with thanks for taking the talk. Then follow up at the agreed time. Do not let feedback hang in the air. Closed loops build trust. Model apology. Well, say I am sorry for my part in this. Name your part. Say what you will do to prevent it next time. Do not add a but, then keep your word. A clean apology lowers anger and opens the door to move forward. If you lead, set the tone that truth beats pride. Show your own decision log. Show your pre-mortems. Show when you missed and what you learned. People copy what they see at the top. If the top hides errors, the group will hide errors. If the top asks for facts that change minds, the group will bring facts. Your model is the lever. Keep promises about money with extra care. Pay invoices on time. Send refunds when due without delay. State terms in plain words. Share a one-page summary after you agree with a vendor. Late money breaks trust fast. On time, money builds it fast. If cash is tight and you must delay, inform early, give a date, and keep it. Do not go silent. Silence turns stress into anger. Build simple rituals that keep trust alive. Open team meetings by reading one short win from someone else. Close by, stating one next step each person will take. Keep the ritual short. The aim is to show that action and credit move together. Over weeks, people will come ready to contribute and ready to say what they will do next. Watch for signs that safety is fragile. If people stop raising risks, ask why. If nobody says I do not know, say it yourself when it is true and invite others to join you. If you notice crosstalk or side chats during a meeting, pause and reset the rule about no interruptions. If a person gets cut off, give them the floor again. These moments look small, but they teach the group what is allowed. Use quiet moments to invest in relationships. Send short notes of thanks when someone helps. Share a resource that might help their work. Ask a simple question about their load and listen. Trust does not live only in big meetings. It grows in small, private moments when people feel seen. These moments take minutes and change the tone of a week. Be clear about roles. Confusion about who decides and who does the work causes friction. Before a project starts, write who owns the decision and who owns each major step. Share this in one short note. If a role shifts, update the note. This reduces fights over turf and prevents gaps that cause delays. Respect limits. Do not ping people at all hours unless it is urgent and rare. Use scheduled sends. Name your time zone in your signature. If you need after-hours help, rotate the duty so the same person is not always on call. People give their best when they can trust that their rest is safe. Keep tools light. A shared document with decisions and owners, a small channel for updates, a calendar with regular check-ins. A simple habit of writing agreements. More tools do not mean more trust. Clear words on visible pages do. Teach new people the culture by pairing them with someone who models it. Ask the mentor to show how to write agreements, how to log decisions, how to ask for help, how to give feedback. Check in after the first week and the first month. Ask what feels confusing and fix it. Onboarding is not just tasks, it is tone. When something breaks, move first to facts, then to duty. Say what happened without blame. List the duties to people and projects. Take the next needed step. Notify those who need to know. Update timelines. Change the booking. Adjust the plan. Keep moving the work. Ownership sits at the center of this. Trust grows when people see you act this way under stress. End days with a small trust audit. Ask yourself if you kept your word. Ask if you wrote the agreements you made. Ask if you gave credit in public and feedback in private. Write one line about what you will do differently tomorrow. This keeps your compass aligned. It does not take long. 5 minutes is enough. You can build all of this without raising your voice, without long speeches, and without complex systems. You can start with the next promise you make today. State it in clear words. Write it where others can see it. Deliver when you said you would. If you cannot, inform early and give a clean new time. Add one weekly check-in on your calendar. Share one decision entry with your team. Thank one person in public. Own one problem fully and share the fix. These moves change how people feel around you. When trust is present, people bring facts early, ask for help without fear, and move together. Work becomes easier to plan because people do what they say and say what they will do. Even then, plans will still break. Flights will be cancelled. Clients will shift scope. Markets will move. The next move is to accept what happened fast. State it in plain words, list your duties, and take the next action. A steady practice of thanks will also help your mind carry that weight with less strain. 3 short lines each morning about a person, a tool, and an event that helped can lift your view and keep your steps calm when the day turns hard. When your plan breaks, what is your first clear move? The day will not always follow your schedule. A flight gets cancelled. A server goes down. A supplier misses a date. A family need appears without warning. In those minutes, the most useful stance is simple. Accept what happened. State it in plain words. List your duties to people and projects. Take the next needed action. You do not need to argue with reality. You do not need to find blame. You need to move the work with care. Acceptance does not mean you like the event. It means you name it without spin. You can say the flight was cancelled at the gate. You can say the server is down for customers right now. You can say the supplier missed the shipment date. You can say a parent is in the hospital and you must go. When you say the facts, your mind stops reaching for what did not happen. It starts working on what you can do. This is the same split you practice every morning with your 2 lists. Right now, control lives in the steps you can take. Your duty is those steps. The next move is to name your duties. Duties are the tasks you owe to people and projects because of your role and your promises. If a flight is cancelled, your duties may include your team, your clients, and your travel plan. You notify the team with a short message that gives the fact and the new plan. You inform clients if a meeting will shift, and you offer the first next time that works. You call the airline or use the app to change the booking. You update timelines in your shared notes so everyone sees the new date in writing. If a server fails, your duties will include customers and colleagues. You post a clear status note. You assign someone to own the fix. You give a time for the next update, and you pause non-critical work so hands are free. If a family need hits, your duties include your loved ones and the people at work who depend on you. You tell your manager you are out for the day, hand off anything urgent, and set an away message with a simple line on when you will check in again. Duty is not drama. Duty is steady action, one visible step at a time. Plain language helps under stress. You can use a short script that starts the same way every time. Say what happened. Say the effect. Say the next step and when it will happen. Then do it. A clean script sounds like this. The flight was cancelled at the gate. I will miss the morning session. I will notify the team now, inform clients within the hour, rebook for the earliest flight today, and send a new schedule by 3 in the afternoon. Or this. The server is down for customers. The status page is live. We are rolling back to the last stable version. The next update will go out in 30 minutes. Or this: a family emergency needs me today. I will hand off work for the launch to Joanna and check messages at 6 in the evening. These words are simple. They calm others because they show duty in motion. Your earlier tools support this stance. The decision log records the choice you must make right now, the reasons, and the review date. Write a short entry, even during a break. Doing so keeps you honest and sets a time to learn. The pre-mortem you ran before a plan began gives you triggers and first steps for known risks. When a trigger fires, you do not need to think about whether to act. You act. Base rates keep your expectations real when you reset timelines. Your attention rules protect a block to manage the issue without checking news or feeds that pull you away. Your checklists reduce errors when you are tired. All of these tools exist to support duty during strain. The way you carry duty shapes trust. People do not expect a perfect day from you. They expect clear steps and honest words. When things go wrong and you own the outcome, you use the same plain tone you have practiced. You say, "I own this result. Here is the plan to fix it by Friday." You name the steps and ask for facts you may have missed. You invite tests of the plan. People share what they know. Work moves. Blame drops because there is no room for it. The hours go to action, not to stories. Duty also has a place in private moments. When your own mind spins after a hit, pause for 2 minutes. Breathe slowly. If a sharp feeling is present, label it on paper. Anger, fear, shame, pride, envy. Check if you are hungry, short on sleep, or have been alone too long today. Address what you can in a few minutes, then return to duty. Pick one action that supports the main goal for the day. Make it small and concrete. Send the needed message. Book the new slot. Update the note. The feeling may stay. The work will still move. Now add a quiet counterweight that protects your mood and keeps your view wide. Practice daily gratitude as a drill, not as a slogan. Each morning, write 3 short lines. Write one person who helped. Write one tool that worked. Write one event that went well. Be specific and concrete. You can write, "Maria sent the financials early." You can write, "The timer kept me on the task for 50 minutes." You can write, "The client agreed to a small pilot." Do not reach for big words. The lines should take less than a minute. The point is not to impress. The point is to teach your mind to notice support and wins that you would otherwise ignore. This drill has evidence behind it. In controlled studies led by Robert Emmons, people who kept gratitude journals reported better mood and better sleep. And they went to the doctor less often across several weeks. The studies did not ask people to write long essays. They asked for short, regular notes about what went well and who helped. This kind of simple focus changes what the mind sees during a hard day. It does not hide problems. It makes room for more facts. You still write your to lists. You still act on your duties. You also notice the person, the tool, and the event that made life easier in some small way. That wider view lowers strain and makes it easier to speak with care. You can place the gratitude drill at 2 times. Some prefer morning. It sets a tone before the world starts talking. Others prefer night. It closes the day with a wider view. You can do both. If you keep a nightly review at 21:30, you can add 3 lines of thanks after you write what worked, what failed, and what you will change tomorrow. Keep it short, keep it specific. If you miss a night, restart the next night. This is practice, not a performance. Gratitude works well with your short code. If your values include honesty, discipline, and service, you can spot these in others as you write. You can write, "Okan named a risk early." You can write, "I kept the plan when tired at 4 in the afternoon." You can write, "Sarah returned a message within 24 hours." When you see others live your values, tell them. A 2-line note of thanks with the specific act builds trust and reinforces the culture you want. Duty and thanks can sit inside your day in a simple rhythm. Something breaks. You accept it, name duties, take the next step, and write a short note where needed. Your mind tightens. You pause for 2 minutes, breathe, and choose a small action that supports your main goal. Before or after these, you write 3 lines of thanks. The drill does not make trouble go away. It prevents trouble from filling your entire view. It also helps you spot what to build more of. If your notes show that a certain tool saves your time again and again, keep it. If your notes show that a certain person always shows up on time, invest in that relationship. You are letting facts shape your attention. Use your tools to keep duty and thanks visible. Put a small card on your desk with 2 short prompts. What happened? What is my duty now? Put another card with 3 blanks. Person, tool, event. When stress hits, the cards cut delay. When calm returns, the cards tell you what to write. If you work on the move, keep a tiny note on your phone with the same prompts. You do not need an app, you need a cue you will see. Be careful with your words during duty. Do not add blame to your facts. Do not hide key details that others need. Do not overpromise to feel safe. State what you can do and when. If you are not sure, say you are not sure and give a time when you will know more. Then keep that time. People can carry hard news when it is clear and when follow-through is real. Small details matter. If you must move a meeting, propose 2 new times in the same message. If you change a plan, update the shared document so people do not carry old versions. If you cancel a visit, send a short note to the host with thanks and a new time right away. These small steps reduce the hidden cost of broken plans. They also show respect. You can also build gratitude into team time. Open a weekly meeting by naming 1 quiet win from the past week. Keep it short. Say the name of the person and the specific act. Then move to the agenda. Close by reading the decisions made and the next steps. This ritual pairs thanks with action. It sets a tone without taking long. When fear rises in a group after a loss, bring everyone back to duty with 1 line. Say what happened without blame. Say the next step. Ask each owner to confirm their move and time. People feel calmer when they know what to do. Later, in one-to-ones, you can speak about feelings and lessons. In the moment, the work needs motion. Duty also means protecting your own capacity. If you are sick, your duty is to rest so you can work tomorrow. If you are burned out, your duty is to simplify the day so you can regain focus. This is not self-indulgence. It is care for the system you run. Set boundaries in plain words. Tell your team your start and end times. Use scheduled sends. Take your breaks. Your example gives others permission to protect their own energy, which raises the quality of the whole group. Keep a simple log of stumbles and your responses. When something breaks, write a 4-line note after you fix it. Write the event, the effect, the step you took, and 1 thing you will change. Store these notes with the project. After a month, skim them. You will see patterns. You may learn that a certain handoff fails often. You may learn that you always forget to inform a certain person. Adjust your checklists and your plans. Duty improves with review. Teach duty and thanks to new people by modeling them. When a plan shifts, speak the script. When you make a mistake, own it and state the fix. When someone helps, thank them in clear words. When you do your nightly review, share 1 line you wrote if it fits the moment. Culture spreads through simple acts that people can copy. There will be times when duty is heavy. In those times, the gratitude drill does not make the weight vanish. It keeps your eyes open to the hands around you. You will see who helps. You will see what tools help. You will see which events still go well. This does not erase grief or stress. It gives you footing for the next step. Link all of this back to your morning split. When you draw your 2 lists, you are already choosing what to control and what to release. Duty lives on the left side. Thanks lives in the space that holds your mind steady as you move through the left side. Your decision log, your pre-mortems, your base rates, your attention rules, your money frictions, and your trust habits all support the same aim. You want a stable way to meet pressure with clear action. Duty moves the day. Thanks lifts the mind. Together they make strong days more common. You do not need a perfect system to start. You can try this tomorrow morning. Write 3 lines of thanks. Put a small card near your screen that says what happened, what is my duty now. When the first hiccup arrives, use it. Say the fact, name the duty, take the step, inform the people, update the note. When night comes, write what worked, what failed, what you will change tomorrow, and 3 new lines of thanks. Do this for a few days in a row. Watch how your tone changes and how others respond. As these moves settle in, you can bring them together in a short field test that pulls all the habits into 1 month of practice. You give each week a simple focus. You keep notes. You review each Sunday. You keep what helps and drop what does not. Calm grows from small steps repeated. Results follow people who train their minds to meet pressure with clear action and to notice the good that keeps them going. What if 30 days could show you, with plain notes and small steps, which habits actually help you under pressure? You already know the pieces. Each morning you split the day into what you can do and what you cannot. You write big choices in a short log. You steady your tone with a small code. You run pre-mortems and set triggers. You add base rates so your plan matches the real world. You protect attention with simple rules, and you slow spending with small frictions. You build trust with clear promises and full ownership. You carry duty when plans break, and you mark 3 lines of thanks so your view stays wide. Now you will put all of this into a 30-day field test. The aim is not a perfect month. The aim is to see in your own life which moves create calm and which moves carry results. Begin by choosing a start date and writing it in full words so it feels real. Pick a Sunday to prepare and begin the next morning. On the first Sunday, take 20 minutes to set the frame. Write a short purpose for this month in 1 sentence. Keep it plain, like reduce daily stress and move 1 key project, or improve hiring decisions and protect cash, or finish the draft and sleep better. This sentence will guide your choices when the month gets busy. Place it at the top of a page in your notebook or at the top of a note on your phone. During the first week, focus on control and clarity. Each morning, draw a line and make your 2 lists. On the left, write actions you can do today. On the right, write what is outside your control. Circle your top 3 and block time for them on your calendar with clear start and end times. Protect those blocks with your attention rules. When a major choice appears in one of those blocks, open your decision log and write a short entry with the date, the context, the options, the choice, the reasons, the expected result, the risks, the base rate if one exists, and the review date. Keep each entry short and in plain words. At night, do a simple review. Ask what worked, what failed, and what you will change tomorrow. Write 1 or 2 lines for each. If you need a fixed time, choose 21:30 and set a 5-minute timer. This is a lot for 1 week, so keep the moves light and steady. The point is not to do more. The point is to do less noise and more of what you chose. In the second week, add foresight and values. Pick 1 plan that matters and run a pre-mortem. Imagine it failed. List the real reasons. Choose the few that matter. Assign an owner to each risk. Write clear triggers and the first action for each trigger. Put all of this on 1 page that your eyes will see each day. Pick a time each week to check triggers, such as Monday morning after your first block, and write that time on your calendar. Now write your 100-word code. Choose 3 values that matter to you. Define behaviors for each in short sentences you can read in a storm. Keep the code visible on your desk or as the first note on your phone. Read it before you draw your morning lists. Read it before you write a decision entry. Read it before you give feedback. During this week, you will notice pressure from both the plan and the code. That pressure is useful. It will show you where you tend to drift. It will also show you where a small line of values can correct your course. In the third week, add a clean loop for learning and a pause for wants. Fix your nightly review at a set time, such as 20:30. Put the reminder on your phone in words. When it appears, stop and write for 5 minutes. Mark what worked, what failed, what you will change tomorrow. Add one money line. Write the count of impulse buys you blocked with the 72-hour rule, or the amount transferred to savings on time this week, or the number of subscriptions you cancelled. For non-essential buys, start the 72-hour delay. When you want something that is not needed for health, safety, or key work this week, write it on a wants list with today's date written out. Do not put it in a cart. Review the list at a set time once a week, such as Saturday morning, and decide with a clear head. This rule is a small friction. It will feel strange and then it will feel normal. It will free cash and attention for what your purpose sentence named at the start. In the fourth week, build strong rails for attention and reduce errors with checks. Set a window for news, such as 20 minutes at lunch. Outside that window, do not open news sites or video feeds. Turn off autoplay, badges, and push alerts. Move shopping and social apps off your home screen. Create 2 windows for email, such as late morning and late afternoon. Require a written agenda, a decision owner, and a time limit for any meeting you accept. Replace status calls with 2 short paragraphs in writing when possible. Choose one important task in your work and create a short checklist you will read at the moment of action. Keep the checklist short and in plain words. Store it where you do the task so you see it. Share it with a teammate and ask them to read it with you the first time you use it. This week is about protecting the few hours where real work happens and preventing mistakes that cost time and trust. Each Sunday, run a calm review of the week. Set aside 30 minutes. Open your notes. Scan your decision log entries and the review dates. Check your pre-mortem triggers and note any that fired. Read your nightly reviews for patterns. Look at your wants list and the buys you made. Ask yourself a few simple questions. Which small habit reduced stress the most this week? Which small habit moved results the most? Which rule felt too tight and caused a workaround? Which rule felt too loose and allowed drift? Choose one variable to adjust for the next week. Change only one. If your news window was too wide, make it shorter. If your nightly review time did not fit, move it to a time you can keep. If your checklist felt heavy, cut 2 items that add little value. Write the one change in a single line and place it on your desk for Monday morning. Be alert to common pitfalls. Some people become rigid and try to control everything with rules. They stop using judgment. If you feel that creep, soften one rule a little and add a short note in your decision log about why. Other people hide behind rules to avoid hard talks. They send process notes when a direct call would help more. If you sense that, pick up the phone for the next hard issue and use your calm script. State the fact, state the effect, state the request, ask for their view, and agree on one step with a time to check. Another pitfall is stacking too many changes in one week. You feel busy but learn little. Keep the Sunday choice to one change only. The month is short. Depth matters more than breadth. Treat base rates as part of your Sunday work. For any decision you made during the week, look for one relevant typical result in the real world if you have not added it yet. Write the number in words, the scope, and the source in your decision entry. Adjust your buffers if needed. If a base rate shows that your expected timeline is optimistic, add time now rather than after stress rises. If the base rate supports your plan, note that for confidence. Over time, your entries will form your own base rate library. You will see your real cycle times, your real conversion rates, and your real failure modes. This history will make your next month better. If you work with a team, share parts of the field test. You can invite people to post their top 3 for the day in a short morning message. You can make pre-mortem triggers visible on one page and check them together each week. You can run one-to-one check-ins at a fixed time with 3 short questions. What is working? What is stuck? What do you need from me? You can replace one meeting with 2 paragraphs and measure how much time you saved. You can ask each person to write a 100-word code and share it with the group if they want. Do not force it. Model it. People will copy what helps. Use your gratitude drill as a steady support. Each morning or each night, write 3 short lines. 1 person who helped, 1 tool that worked, 1 event that went well. Keep the lines short and concrete. These notes will not slow down your field test. They will protect your mood when days get rough. They will also point to tools and people that deserve more investment next month. Throughout the month, keep your promises about money with extra care. Pay invoices on time. Send refunds on time. Write clear terms in one page and store them where all can see. Use a 72-hour delay for non-essential spends and a small test for new vendors before large contracts. Record large money choices in your decision log with a review date. If a big purchase did not earn its keep by the review date, act. Cancel, return, or change the plan. This is how you prevent slow leaks that drain your work. When a day breaks, use your duty script. Say what happened. State the effect. Take the next step. Inform the people who need to know. Update the note. Then return to the block you can still do. Duty and thanks are not a side trail in this field test. They are the tone that makes the rest possible. The month will include at least 1 broken plan. This is normal. Use it to practice your stance. As the last Sunday of the month arrives, run a longer review. Give yourself 1 hour. Read your purpose sentence. Ask if your stress dropped. Ask if your key project moved. Scan your decision log. Mark choices that met the expected result and choices that missed. Write what you learned in 1 or 2 lines under each. Scan your pre-mortem page. Note which triggers fired at the right time and which did not help. Sharpen or drop the weak ones. Read your nightly reviews and your gratitude lines. Notice which tools and people show up again and again. Decide what to keep for the next month. Decide what to drop. Decide what to add. Keep your core small. The core is your morning split, your decision log for big choices, your short code, your nightly review, and your attention rules. Around that core, pick 1 or 2 extras that fit your goals for the next month, such as a deeper checklist for a risky task or a stricter money rule if leaks appeared. If you felt rigid at any point, name the rule that caused it and write 1 softer version. If you felt you hid behind rules, name the moment and write 1 sentence about how you will handle a similar moment next time with a direct talk. If a habit never stuck, ask why. Maybe the time did not fit. Maybe the tool was wrong. Adjust with care. This review is not a test of character. It is a design session for your next set of days. Let history steady your hand. Marcus Aurelius wrote private notes while leading and while facing plague, famine, and politics. The notes show self-correction, gratitude, and duty, written in simple lines he could use in hard hours. Epictetus taught short commands for daily tests so that students could act without long debate. Seneca wrote about fear, loss, and wealth with details that still ring true. Their focus was practice, small, clear moves. This month is your practice. It does not require a title or a speech. It requires a pen, a page, and honest repetition. What happens after the 30 days is simple. Keep what worked. Drop what did not. Do not add 3 new things at once. Keep your core habits and pick 1 area to improve this month. Maybe you expand your base rate library by adding 1 number to each new decision. Maybe you sharpen your pre-mortems by writing tighter triggers. Maybe you improve your checklists by cutting weak steps and adding one test that catches common errors. Maybe you strengthen trust by making your promises more visible and your feedback more specific. The work compounds when you keep the cycle going. Share your gains with others in plain words. If a habit saved an hour each day, say so and show how. If a checklist prevented a mistake, share the steps. If a money rule prevented a bad deal, write the story with facts and dates. When you teach in simple words, you help others, and you make the habit stronger in yourself. If someone offers a different move that works for them, listen. Try it in a small way. Keep what helps. If you want a gentle way to maintain focus across months, set one small ritual on the first Sunday of each month. Read your purpose sentence from last month. Write a new sentence for this month. Keep it under 20 words. Copy your core habits to a fresh page. Add one extra to explore. Put the page where you will see it at the start of each day. At the end of the month, read the page and write what you learned in a few lines. Store it with your decision log. Over a year, you will have 12 pages that show how your mind and your system grew. This is not heavy. It is light and clear. Remember to keep your language simple with others as well as with yourself. Plain words travel faster and hold under stress. When you ask for help, ask for a specific step by a specific time. When you give help, confirm the step and the time. When you hand off a task, write the owner, the next step, and the date for a check. When you praise, name the act and the effect. These habits feed your system with clear signals. If you feel the pull to quit during the month, do not argue with yourself. Shrink the day. Draw the 2 lists. Circle one item. Do that item. Write one line in your decision log. Read your code. Write one line of thanks. Then stop. A day with one clean move is better than a day spent fighting your own plan. The field test is a chance to learn how small steps carry. You can make it smaller and still learn. You can start this field test tomorrow. Write your purpose sentence tonight. Place a pen and a page where you will see them in the morning. At the start of the day, draw your 2 lists, circle your top 3, and block time. When a big choice appears, write a decision entry. When you feel a strong emotion, label it. Breathe for 2 minutes, check the basics, and choose one action that supports your main goal. When a plan matters, run a pre-mortem and write triggers with first steps. When you set an outcome, add a base rate so your plan is real. During the day, guard attention with simple rules. Use a checklist for tasks that carry real cost. Slow once with a 72-hour hold and an automatic transfer on payday. Keep small promises on time. Write agreements where others can see them. Take full ownership when things go wrong. When events break your plan, state what happened, list your duties, and take the next step. Each morning or night, write 3 lines of thanks. At 21:30, write what worked, what failed, and what you will change tomorrow. On Sunday, review and change one thing. Pick one habit today if this feels like a lot. Write one decision in a log. Run one pre-mortem for a plan that matters. Cancel one meeting without a clear goal and ask for 2 short paragraphs instead. Send one note of thanks that names a real help. Measure one result next week. If the step helps, repeat it. If it does not, adjust it. Calm grows from small steps repeated. Results grow when people train their minds to meet pressure with clear action and to keep learning with honest notes. This is the real work. It is steady. It is within reach. You can begin now.